Hello, guys. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Thank you for joining me again. How is everyone today? Hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm going to say good afternoon and good evening to everyone. A little bit later show than usual, but thank you guys for joining me. I cannot wait to bring on my awesome guests tonight. I'm very, very lucky to have them with me. But before I introduce them, I will say hello to you guys. So we had Starry Eye Girl with us. Hey sis, good to see you, sweetheart. We have got Lady Mist. Good afternoon. Mark the Infinitely Tired. Good afternoon, love. Good to see you. We've got Chris Persia, our awesome wrench of wrenches. We have got, hey, I know those guys. Hey, Echo Base. We have got Louise Sparrow. Good evening, sweetheart. Apolomies Minion. Matt Rissman. Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We have got Positive Candor. Hey, and let me grab this super chat very quickly from the awesome Matt Rissman. He said, peace and love, happy Sunday. Thank you, sweetheart, for the 1999 super chat. That was very, very kind of you, and I appreciate it. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday as well. We have got Naughty Monkey Oraf. Good to see you. Jedi Bill 797. Welcome. Kaylee D. Hello, sweetheart. Good to see you. Good evening to Colin P. Smith. Wendy Vega. Hey, guys. Adaga Outlaw. Welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. So, as I said, very, very lucky to be joined by two awesome guys. You know them. You love them. It is Echo Base, the coach, and Nick. Hello, guys.
Hey, how's it going, Purple? Thanks for having us on. I skipped our show last night just so I could be on this show today.
Oh, yeah. I think that we should end our channel now.
Yeah.
You guys had a fantastic show last night, so congratulations.
Yeah, I watched it at like 3 a.m. last night.
It was fun. I hate that we had to cut it short, but the time that we were able to do it, it was a lot of fun. Loki stepped in and filled Nick's shoes very, very perfectly, and it was great. It
was great. You had some really great pop-ins. Always great to hear from everybody, from the Echo Base family.
Absolutely, and you're a big part of that family, and thank you for everything that you've done for us. It feels like you've been there from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. If there's one thing that I do know, it's that I love you guys. I've always enjoyed your channel. You have some of the best Star Wars content on YouTube. But before we dive into that, let me just grab this super chat from Psychodwarf. Sure. Thank you, Psychodwarf, for $2 super chat. Thank you, sweetheart. He says, hosting Traveller 5, catch you on the bounce. Well, you have a good day, honey. Hope it goes well for you. Have a good one.
Good to see you there. Psychodwarf 9, like Loki would say.
Yeah, I don't know how he does that. I can't say it.
I can't do it either.
Just don't have the voice for it, unfortunately.
Well, you do have an amazing voice. Just keep talking.
Thank you, guys.
I agree.
Thank you, loves. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of get you guys on today and just to talk about Echo Base. You guys have had such a phenomenal rise in the last couple of months. How has that been for you?
Who's up first, Nick? Me or you? How you want to do this?
Shoot, I'll let you go.
Normally Nick just takes it and I follow up, but I'm kind of impressed that there was that awkward 2 seconds of silence there. Like, well, who's going to go first? I love you, Nick. I love you. I love you. What was your question? How has the last couple months been with the growth?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll tell you, we didn't do anything. It's not like we changed plans or changed tactics, or we didn't get like nobody came in and said, "Hey, here's the secret. This is what you got to do." If we're just talking about a growth in subscriber base, that happened when late one night, me and Nick were, like we've always done, for years and decades, me and Nick will, late at night, my dad used to call Nick the Night Owl. He's always awake. So we would sit in our offices at home. I'm in Decatur and he's in Birmingham. We'd sit in our home offices and voice chat and just search and look. And so many times we have meetings late at night and we get ideas and we're just talking. The best things that me and Nick do are spontaneous from conversation. Mm-hmm. He doesn't call me and go, "Hey, I got a plan." Or I don't call him and say, "Hey, this is what we got to do." No, that's not how our brains work. He's got different talents and abilities than I do, but we have conversation, and then from that conversation, you can feel it, and we'll have an idea. And late that night, we were working on the channel and doing stuff, and Nick was actually, I think Nick was working on comments and was responding to people. We really like to engage with people on there, and I'm sitting there, and I kind of like, I was helping him with comments, and I kind of got done. And this is after the Luke Skywalker comeback in Chapter 16 to The Mandalorian.
Yes.
And I just thought, well, you know what, dude? I'm going to make a montage video. And he was like, "Do it." So I'm going to tell you guys the truth. It's so funny, man, how YouTube works. I went and downloaded probably 15 different reaction videos that night, and I cut them up, did nothing special with them at all, put them together in the order my brain liked, put our intro and credits at the end of it. I literally worked on that video for probably 25 minutes. That's our most watched video we've ever made. And it's one that did not take a lot of effort. I mean, we released a video today that's got way more thought, way more analysis, way more production value. I just slapped that thing together, and I think, Nick, I released that video. I'm like, I remember asking him, "When do you want to release this video?" And he was like, "I don't care." I said, "I'm going to go ahead and release it now." It was 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's
we woke up the
insane.
next morning, and that thing has like 50,000 views. And I'm going, we broke YouTube or something. Something's wrong. And because we release videos at like 6:00 p.m. when people are watching, kind of thing. No, we released this one at 1:30 in the morning, and that video now has over 800,000 views.
It's incredible.
And it's got more than, I think the next highest watched video on our channel is like 220,000 views. So think about that.
And that was because Mark Hamill's tweeting it out.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Do you think it kind of struck a chord with people? Because it just kind of, everyone was riding the high from the end of The Mandalorian, and it just kind of, it kind of touched a lot of people. Do you think that's...
Well, I'll tell you what, Purple, that we had a surge in subscriber base, but then we had a surge. We didn't know what to expect on our next live stream. Our live streams, if you will remember, we were at one time, 4 months ago even, we were lucky to have 25 people in there. I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, we had 25 people. And then after that video, we go live. There's 500 people. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I need to go run and hide or like, I felt some pressure. And, but the best thing about it is that it's not the subscribers. It's not that means nothing. That means nothing. It's your community. We got a growth in memberships. We got regulars to our live stream shows. That's what me and Nick enjoy the most, is getting to know our people. And having 20,000 subscribers or a bajillion subscribers, that doesn't mean anything. That's for people who like to think highly of themselves or something. That's meaningless. But yeah, I think I'll let Nick answer your question about how did that resonate with people, Nick, that video, and it definitely got people's foot in the Echo Base Network door.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a video that introduced us to a lot of people, because we were kind of just being introduced mainly from all the promoting I was doing for the channel, because I would go into so many other people's streams and super chat, and like I was trying to get our name out there and all that. And but when Coach did that video and we got all those views, and then Mark Hamill, and this all happened in December.
Oh, tell her the Hamill story.
Yeah, so Coach did another video, like he literally did like 3 or 4 videos during this time period.
Oh, we were milking that bad boy.
Yeah, I had family in town. And so he was doing a lot of this stuff solo by himself, and he did the one on a message to Disney, and them bringing Luke back and all that. And Mark Hamill saw the video and retweeted it out, and then Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers did a video on it. So just between those two. Basically Hamill tweeting it and Jeremy doing a video on it, just set even more of a flood of people over to us. But yeah, I think that that video that Coach made, the montage video he was talking about, I think that we've probably gotten the most positive comments out of any video on that one, just because people were so excited that Luke Skywalker was back. They were hopeful for Star Wars content again, that it was moving in the right direction. And then, of course, you had the disaster that followed with that, with the stuff with Star Wars Theory and Pablo Hidalgo and the firing of Gina Carano and the High Republic. And, so it's like, one step forward, 3 steps back, which is always disappointing when that happens, because everybody was on such a high after that Mando season finale.
So Nick, it started with that montage video.
Yep.
But then I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. So Coach is in Nashville when Hamill actually tweets it, and I get a message in on the comment section of that, of people saying, Mark Hamill sent me here. Mark Hamill sent me here. Have you seen? And then other videos that we did talking about Mark Hamill's Twitter account and stuff like that. People saying, have you seen Mark's Twitter account lately? You might want to go check it out. And all this stuff. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I went and looked, and I saw he retweeted one of our videos. Now, of course, the Rewriting Ripley article would have you believe that he accidentally tweeted that out, not knowing what it was about, which is complete crap. He definitely watched the video. He would not just tweet a random video out without having watched it.
No, Mark's very careful about what he tweets out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he definitely watched the video, and Coach is with his family, and I tend to try not to bug him or bother him when he's with his family on vacation and stuff, because I know he can't do anything. And so I messaged him. I was like, our thing is, if it's an emergency, like something we have to talk, it's we always text code red.
And if it's really if it's even worse than that, it's code effing red.
Yeah, because we cuss outside of our show. So
I was going to say, you're welcome to cuss here.
Yeah, so we say code fucking red.
Yeah. That's right. That's right, motherfuckers.
Yeah. And so I'm like, code fucking red, dude. Like, call me right now. And he's like, what? What's going on? And he calls me, and I'm like, dude, are you sitting down? Like, are you sitting down right now? He's like, I can't remember what he said, but I was like, Mark Hamill just retweeted out our video on the message to Disney video. He's like, what? I was like, I'm not shitting you. Like, he tweeted this thing out. Like, it's on his Twitter. Go look at it. And I was like, he was like, you gotta cover this. I was like, yeah, I'm getting all my stuff together to cover it right now. So then I did a video. So he did the video that Mark Hamill tweeted out. Because I wasn't available to do it. And then when Hamill tweeted it out, he wasn't available to do the follow-up video to it, so I did. So that's one of the nice things about having two people, running a channel. Like the people like Gary and Doomcock, doing their channels pretty much on their own from the ground up. Like, man, they have had to have put a ton of work into it, and they don't even do as much production stuff as Coach has learned and done. So and I can understand why. I mean, they probably just don't have the time with everything else that they have to do.
Yeah, but that's the good thing about there being two of us, because I don't have to worry about giving opinions and commentary and things like that. I can introduce the topic, hand it over to Nick. That's his specialty, and I can make it look pretty, and that's how it works, and that's why this works so well.
Like, you guys, how well you two work together, and I did mention to Coach in the green room before we went live. Sorry, Nick, I was going to ask you guys, how did you meet? What's the story behind Coach and Nick?
Whose version do you want?
Our version's I think our version's the same.
All right. Well, that's good. So, I got sent to a new school in the 7th grade. I had gone to school. Well, long story short, I grew up with a group of people that were my really good close friends. And when we went from 5th grade to 6th grade, we went to middle school, is what we call it here. And for whatever reason, the street that I lived on was the border to go to a school all the way across town. So I was the only person from my school to go to this school across town. So I'm going there, and I didn't know Nick. Nick went to a different elementary school than I did. So Nick is going to school as a 6th grader with all of my friends. So he learns all of my friends, and he's one of the people at this school. So anyways, lucky for me, in the 7th grade, I got a letter saying that they moved the boundary again, and now I'm going to go to the school that Nick was at. So I show up as a 7th grader, and I probably knew my first day of school there, I probably knew about 1 out of every 3 or 4 people there. Because my elementary school, I was basically reunited with a bunch of my friends. And it felt like home. From day one, it felt like home. Well, I had a little girlfriend in the 7th grade, and Nick liked to mess with her. And he did some he did some things to her that you would get arrested for today. I'm not
nothing illegal.
No, nothing illegal, but you.
I wasn't like raping and pillaging, her parents' house.
No.
No, nothing like that. But anyways, so he messed around with her, and Nick has always been like, I call him the ladies' man and stuff. He's always had like a way with ladies and stuff. Like he just always has. They love him. Well, anyways, I was super mad and did not like him, and I was like one of the taller boys in our class. I was like,
he hit his growth spurt early in life.
Yeah, I was a really good basketball player at that point in my life. I would say I was the best basketball player at the school, Nick. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I did not like Nick because he was flirty with my lady. So we were in a class together, and like I remember one day we were in a shop class, and I balled up a piece of paper, and I threw it at him, and I hit him in the head. But I tried to act like I didn't do it, and he turned around and was like, "Hey, dude, why'd you throw that at me?" And I was like, "I didn't," and I was just being a dick. Well, anyways, one day we're in another class. I didn't like him at all, and I'm walking, all of our desks were in little rows. So I'm walking down a row to go somewhere, to throw something away or something. One of the reasons why you get up, move around. And I'm walking by Nick's desk, and I noticed he had a book on his desk. And I just looked at it. And it was a Star Wars short story. It was called something like Darth Vader's Glove or something like that.
Yeah, the glove of Darth Vader.
Okay, yeah. And I stopped in my tracks. And now you got to remember I'm a 7th grader. So it was at that point where Star Wars, it wasn't the coolest thing to walk around saying you love Star Wars.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I mean, it just wasn't. Yeah. I didn't wear Star Wars t-shirts. I loved it. It was a part of my world. I was never going to let it go.
But you couldn't show at the time how
I didn't show it at the time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this dude, and I didn't have any Star Wars friends. None. All my friends were basketball players. So I stopped dead in my tracks, and I looked at Nick, and I said, "You like Star Wars?" Like I could not fathom this jerk liking Star Wars. And he looks at me and says, "Dude, I love it." And I think it was the next weekend. Actually, Nick and I I don't know if you remember this, Nick, we had first period math together every day.
Yeah.
We had a lot of classes together.
Do you remember that cover with the whales and stuff on it?
I don't.
Yeah.
So that was it right there?
Yeah, that was
cool.
it.
Yeah.
That's what was on my desk, or that I was reading.
So we had first period math together, and I was struggling a little bit. So I walked up to Nick, and I was like, "Hey, dude," I said, "Give me your phone number. Let's help each other with this math." And Miss Perry, our math teacher, gave us homework like on the regular. So I called him, and it became a normal thing. I would call him every afternoon, or he'd call me, and we would do our math homework first, and then we would talk Star Wars for like an hour. And we were really getting to know each other. And then I invited him over to the house one Saturday. Super Star Wars on the Super Nintendo just came out. And I went and rented it, and we went and picked Nick up, brought him over to the house, and we just hung out and played Super Star Wars, and we've been best friends ever since. That's how it all happened, and it was all because of Star Wars. And it's been a major part of our friendship. Now, it's obviously our friendship's bigger than Star Wars now, but
thread that runs through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
I've got somebody that I could always turn and go talk to when something happens. If it's something good, if it's something bad. We've gone to all the movies together. We always make it a point to do that. It's like I want to know how he experiences it if I'm not around. He wants to know how I experience it. He made me record myself watching Chapter 16's The Mandalorian. Didn't
Yeah.
tell me why, didn't tell me what I was doing, just said, don't ask me any questions, record yourself. And I'm like, okay, Daddy. And so I did. But yeah, it's and the thing is like when he knows me well enough to like, if he tells me, hey dude, you need to watch this, you're gonna love this, then I know I'm gonna love it, because that's how he knows me. It's very hard for us to surprise each other.
Oh, that is such a sweet story.
In one addition, that first time I came out there, I actually brought my figures with me, like my Kenner Star Wars figures, because we had talked about, you know, the toys, and I still had a bunch of those figures. And I actually brought some to school one time, and I let Coach like look at them or something. Anyways, I lost my Greedo. And I was like, did you steal my Greedo?
Yeah, he accused me of that for like years, that I stole his Greedo. And I'm like,
Yeah.
We get Greedo back though. That's the question people are going to be asking.
and see, so like when we were 8th grade, I guess, for years, me and Nick bought each other Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And which is highly unusual for two dudes to do. But that was our way. We did that because it was 100% you knew it was going to be a vintage Star Wars action figure. It was going to be something that we no longer got. So having a friend took me back to when I was 5 years old, experiencing having Star Wars toys under the Christmas tree again, because there was no better feeling than that. Waking up on Christmas morning and there being Star Wars toys, Kenner Star Wars toys. There's no better Christmas morning memory than that. And having a best friend that's going and buying me a AT-AT Commander, loose complete, for Christmas, I loved that. Because my parents weren't buying. You had to go find this stuff. It's not like you could just go to Walmart and buy this. No, it didn't work like that. Those were long gone.
It's lessons now. Yeah. You've got to track them down.
This was when eBay like first came out. Like my dad actually told me about eBay, and Coach didn't even have a computer then, so he didn't really know much about the internet and stuff. So that's actually where I found a lot of those old Kenner figures that I'd never had. And my dad actually would go on eBay and actually order them. And too bad I don't know or didn't know then what I know now about Kenner Star Wars stuff, because I would have been like, we need to freaking spend every dime we can on this stuff, because it's going to be crazy expensive later on down the road.
Start hoarding the stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So I took my Kenner figures over to Coach's, and we actually played with them like when we were kids. Like we were like at that point in life, we were like more like looking at girls and not really playing toys and stuff like that. But we literally just did it to kind of reminisce about our childhood, and playing with your figures, and like you pick, I pick, and having a battle and stuff. But he played in his tidy whities. And the whole time I'm like, dude, put some pants on. And but that was just normal for him. And we were being loud, and his brother came in there and said, if you and your friend don't shut up, I'm gonna beat your ass in front of your friend. Or something like that. Because we were being too loud. Yeah.
Yeah, he was 11 years older than me, so if we were 13 sitting there playing with our toys, my brother was 24 when he walked in there and threatened my life. So,
to Pat S. Pat S's question. So,
Hail, Pat.
So, my buddy Brandon, who you met B-Ron, didn't you, Coach?
I remember his name. I know that he's the guy from California. I don't know if I met him or not.
Yeah, I think I brought him over to Knowles, and we stopped by your house or something when we were over there. But anyways, so he's the one that played guitar with Nine Inch Nails back in the music stuff. He's not the guy who I was out on tour with, but yeah, I did all that kind of stuff. I don't really talk about it online. You know, like if we ever do a meetup and somebody wants to hear stories and stuff about that, I'll talk about it. But I always hated hearing people kind of talk about that and do all, you know, a lot of name dropping. Like I'll do that amongst like my close friends and stuff, but I didn't want to on our channel be like, oh yeah, so I hung out with this person, was backstage with these people, and was on tour with these people and played with these people and all that sort of stuff. But I do have a lot of cool stories. Hanging out with a lot of people that probably everybody here in this chat knows about. So, but yeah, that'll be a good meetup conversation.
Yes, that would be worth traveling to a convention for, just to get the kind of backstory.
Yeah, tons of fun times.
And while Nick was doing all that, I had a career going as a basketball coach, and did that for nearly 20 years. Which is why I'm known as the coach.
I didn't grow up for a long time. I'm still not even grown up. Coach pretty much graduated college, you know, ended up finding his wife, got married, had kids, you know, and I'm out, you know, running all over the country and stuff, traveling and doing music stuff and and all that sort of stuff. But we stayed friends, you know, of course, during that whole time. But we definitely didn't talk as much as we've talked over the last 2 years of running this channel and stuff.
Yes. I always think that's really kind of amazing, because I know you guys obviously are busy outside of YouTube as well. So to have such a successful channel is a real credit to you guys. It really is.
Yeah, it's been a lot of hard work, and Coach has really been picking up the slack for me over the last week for sure. But that's just another good part of having two people, you know, helping to grow a channel. Mm-hmm. And I agree, Robert Pearson, growing up is overrated.
It is. It is. So you said that Star Wars has been kind of like this constant thread throughout both of your lives. Do you think that there would ever be a time where you wouldn't be a fan of Star Wars? I know your kind of love has been tested over the past couple of months with what's happened, with the way Disney has behaved.
So for me, and me and Coach say this all the time, like, no matter what Disney does with Star Wars, they can't ever take away with what's coming from, you know, that's what's come before, you know, the original trilogy. So, I mean, I'm always going to love Star Wars. I'm always going to love the original trilogy in its original, you know, format, not the special edition, even though I do like parts of the special edition. I just, all three movies, I love them. There's nothing's ever going to change that. The sequel trilogy didn't make me not like Star Wars anymore. It just made me not like what Disney was doing with Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people that are just like, I'm done with Star Wars. Like, it's dead. It's dead to me. Like, I sold all my Star Wars stuff. Like, I'm just not. I just don't ever see me being there, because it was such a huge part of my life growing up from my earliest memories. I mean, my very earliest memories, one of them is my dad coming home from work with a second VCR that he rented from the video store in all three Star Wars movies. And he dubbed them from one VCR to another VCR. So we would have copies of it.
I remember VCRs, yeah.
Yeah, and man, I wore those tapes out. And I had grew up with the toys, you know, as far back as I can remember, every Christmas, birthday, mail orders, getting the proofs of purchase off the back of the carded figures, sending off for mail-aways, playing with the toys in the sandbox in the townhouse complex I lived in, and reading books, the TV shows, the Ewok movies that they just released on Disney Plus. I grew up on those. It's just been such a huge part of my childhood growing up. I just, looking back on that, on your childhood, is just so much more of a simpler time. You always wish you could go back, and just relive like just a week, during that time frame. And Star Wars was one of those things for me, along with so many other things that me and Coach both love, with all the cartoons from the 80s and other movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
droids and Ewoks, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm always gonna love the original trilogy, and nothing Disney does is ever gonna change that. So that's kind of my thoughts on it, Coach.
Like Nick talked about it, like we went several years there where, instead of talking to Nick every day like I do now, we would talk like maybe once a week or two. We might have even gone a few months before having not talked. That wasn't by design. It was just because I had my career and what I was doing, and he had his thing and what he was doing, and but Star Wars always kind of brought us back together temporarily, and then we would go off and come back, and it was just
video games.
Yeah, it was just a back and forth kind of thing. Most all of us have had friends like that. Most all of us, you've got somebody from your childhood that you've known for decades and decades, and you could go years without seeing them, but then the moment you talk to them, it's like you never missed a beat. You're right back. Yeah. That's how Star Wars is for us. I can go a year or two, I don't think I ever have, but I know that I could go a year or two without watching the original trilogy. But the moment I go back and watch it, the love is still there. Mm-hmm. I'm watching it just like I always did. And that's the same way with the toys. It's the same way with, Nick and I have been live streaming, playing X-Wing Alliance that came out in 1999. The love is still there. That game is as good as any today and better than most. And
that I would agree with, absolutely.
Yeah, so we can always go back, and it's never leaving us. So no matter what Disney does, no matter what happens with Star Wars moving forward, whether it's great, not great, terrible, whatever it is, they can't take 2005 and before it and erase it. And we got a lot of things that we can still go back and enjoy Star Wars-wise.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for me, I've just been introduced to the EU novels. So I've just dived into Heir to the Empire. I'm about halfway through, and I'm absolutely loving it. These books I didn't realise were as amazing as they are. Timothy Zahn is an incredibly talented author, and I'm just kind of kicking myself that I didn't pick them up sooner.
Yeah. Hey, Purple, I see Brandon Deek's comment in the chat.
Let me pull that one up because that was a brilliant comment. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, read that, Nick.
EBN is the first ever YouTube channel I've joined as a member. Why? The quality and caliber of the hosts and the welcome feeling they offer and the honest passion for Star Wars. It's not just a job. Yeah, absolutely. And,
thank you so much for saying that, Brandon. And that is, me and Nick, when we started the channel, I will tell everybody, y'all probably all heard it before, people in the chat, but I know Nick used to laugh at me when we talked about it. I'm probably the YouTuber that watches the least amount of YouTube on YouTube. I was ignorant to a whole lot of this. I was just a Star Wars fan that happened to have a friend, And I'll let Nick talk about when we started the channel and everything, but my whole thing was, let's have a YouTube channel where we are authentic. It's us. It's us. If we ever have a meetup, this is us. like you're gonna know us. Like, cause it's not like, it's kind of like school and teachers. You guys know I'm a school teacher. Kids know if you're not being authentic. They know if you're faking it. So when I go to my classroom, I am 100% me with clean language. It's me. I'm playful. I'm kind. I joke around. Occasionally I get mad at them, but they get to know me, and there is no wall there. And that's how we run our channel. We wanted to be authentic. We're not on there acting. We're not on there trying to copy anybody or be anything. And we want it to be a place where you could come, and it doesn't matter to us what part of Star Wars is your favorite. We're not looking for a bunch of Nick and Coach clones. We're just looking for people that we could share our passion with, and you can share it with us. That's it.
Yeah, and you guys have shown that time after time with your pop-ins, the fact that everybody, all opinions are welcome, just says kind of volumes for the kind of channel that you guys are building, and that it's not prequel fans against original fans or sequel fans. It's Star Wars fans coming together to celebrate something that they love.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, we get a lot of I see tons of comments, even with the video that Coach just did today, when I was looking at the comments of that video. But a lot of people will misunderstand our love and our positivity on the Star Wars that we love, for kind of us having our heads in the sand to Disney and Lucasfilm and what they're doing. And that's not the case at all. We call that stuff out when it needs to be called out, for sure. And we've said it, till we're pretty much blue in the face, our displeasure with everything that, or most everything that Kathleen Kennedy and that story group and Lucasfilm has been doing. But there's so many other channels out there that focus on all that stuff. We really just didn't want to be just another one of those, because they can get all that from those other channels. So even though we do talk about it and we give our thoughts and opinions when stuff like that comes up, we also wanted to kind of talk about the positive side of Star Wars and where we want it to go and how we want it to be, and different directions, like a positive speculation instead of, all the time, oh, Kathleen Kennedy, the story group's involved, it's going to be complete shit. Like, just don't even waste your time, that's kind of where I think that me and Coach and our channel kind of stand out from so many other Fandom Menace channels. Is we don't harp on that stuff as hard, even though we agree with what all our other Fandom Menace content creators are talking about, for the most part, and we don't always agree with everything, but for the most part we do. We just kind of take a little bit of a different approach and kind of try to remember the stuff that we love about it, and that's why me and Coach like doing the X-Wing Alliance gaming stream, because that was such a fun game, and that was before the dark times. That's why we have that phrase, before the dark times.
We still spun it positive, even right there.
You did.
Yeah. So.
And I'll piggyback on what Nick's saying too, because I love what he's saying there. I just totally lost my train of thought. What were you saying, Nick?
I was talking about the positive spin and how we're different from the other Fandom Menace people.
People have to remember that we're content creators. And, it's the way I look at editing a video and making a video. to me, it's kind of like art.
Mm-hmm.
If I were an artist, this is my art. Is creating something visually that you like, that looks good. I love that. I absolutely love doing that. That's the part of editing and putting the thing together that I enjoy. But the thing is, if we were doing the negative stuff all the time, that's not fulfilling for me.
No.
And I would have very little passion or desire. So instead, the coach that you guys get and are used to seeing on the screen, and the Nick as well, is I'm driving home, and Nick and I talk nearly every day when I drive home from work, and it's like, hey, here are 3 things, A, B, C, that we could all hit on. You want to do this? Yeah, let's do this. And we're actually excited about me getting home, getting things together, and us shooting this video. Like, we're excited about it. But those conversations are never, Kathleen Kennedy's got a booger and it's a nasty one. It's like, it's never the negative stuff that gets us super hyped up. Mm-hmm. That's just not fulfilling for me. And if that's all that we did, our channel would have ended. Yeah. We want to focus on the reasons why we love it. We always want to bring it back to that. And because and like Nick said, there's enough of those channels, and we really respect a lot of those content creators because they're doing what we can't do. I can't stay in the negative realm all the time. That's exhausting. And I mean, I could do it. I'm capable of doing it, but there's not a part of me that has a desire to do that. I don't want to be making thumbnails with laser eyes all the time. And see,
which we just did our first one last week or 2 ago.
We've done one, and I don't think we'll ever do one again. And we laughed so hard that we actually finally did one.
Yeah, we're like, we got to do a laser eyes one.
Yeah, we did one.
Just got to do it once, to get it out of your system. Exactly.
But we do get there is a misconception, I guess, that we're ultra positive, we don't see, we don't understand, and that's not quite true. And we want to offer something a little different. There's an old coaching saying that we want to be a curveball in a fastball league. Well, all the Star Wars content creators are ripping Disney to shreds. I get it. Good on them. I'm glad. Call them out. It gives us an opportunity to go do something else and be different.
Yes, and I think Christian Stowboy says it brilliantly. He says, EBN has become one of my favourite Star Wars channels. Gives me a lot of joy during these dark times under lockdown and curfew here in Germany. Live streams are the highlight of my Saturday nights.
Thank you, Christian. I appreciate that.
Christian. It's awesome.
But I've got to ask you guys, because we've been following your channel for a long time. We've been kind of friends for quite a while, and you guys are the nicest channel on YouTube. How did it feel to be lumped to be in that hit piece? Did it come as a shock?
Well, I was kind of the focus of the hit piece, but they spun it to to something that wasn't, so it was kind of like, and the thing is, they used a screenshot that even showed that it wasn't what they were talking about, which I was like, do you see any of what you're saying in that echo that I did on Parler? Like, everyone thinks that, if you have a Parler account, you're this extremist, alt-right conspiracy theorist, which the term conspiracy theory was actually developed by the CIA to get people to not believe people that speak truth about stuff. That is actually a historical fact, for anybody out there that didn't know that. They kind of twisted it to something that wasn't, and we weren't the main focus of that article. But the fact that we were in it at all,
you didn't know we were in it.
No, I didn't.
You skimmed it. I freaking jumped in there and dug through that thing. And I'm sitting there going, I'm not going to lie. The whole time I'm reading, I'm going, are we in this? I'm looking at the people that they're dropping, and I'm going, we're not in this. There's no way. We're a tadpole in the ocean.
Yeah.
You know, and there he is.
There we are.
The host of Echo Base Network, Nick Glenn.
Yeah.
And he's an alt-right, misogynist, racist bigot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
So I asked him, I was like, so did you read? I sent him a screenshot of the article, just the article. And Nick's like, yeah, I saw that. Jeremy did a video. I said, did you know we were in it? And he goes, no, are you serious? And I told him where to find it. And it was all him, and which was, that shows you how ridiculous that whole thing is. Please don't take this the wrong way. I'm not coming from a place of arrogance or anything like that. But for anybody to say that me and Nick, with the content that we have, and opening, the curtain, so to speak, and letting people really get to know us, I just don't know how anybody could think that and call us the things that they called us. It's just like we had those two young kids on our channel. They grouped us into people that they thought we were like. And I think the thing is, I think they're wrong about those people too.
I do as well. Yeah.
But it took the kid 2 minutes on our live stream to apologize. That's not the point of him coming to our channel at all. It was to have the conversation. But we are nice guys. Well, I mean, we really are. We try to be good human beings. That's just, I've always thought Nick's a great guy. He's got a heart of gold. I think I'm pretty good too.
You guys are awesome. I did read the article as well, and I just kind of took it as parody. I was reading through this. No, they can't possibly be serious.
Yeah.
But apparently they were.
Yeah.
And they got ridiculed for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other video that Coach was talking about, that's just sort of just to piggyback off that Rewriting Ripley article, who was calling out Star Wars theory, and then calling us out. I'm sure you probably saw the video, and then we had him on the show. And he was basically talking about how we were, shitty people and all that sort of stuff. And we're like, dude, do you even watch our content? And and we had a back and forth. He's like, oh yeah, I've seen it. SJW this, SJW that. And I'm like, all right, dude, you obviously don't watch our content regularly.
Yeah,
we've probably mentioned that stuff or had it in a title of a video or something like that, a handful of times. But that stuff's kind of sprinkled in there amongst the main stuff that we do. And of course, once he came on, his opinion of us changed. And maybe his opinion of Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers maybe even changed a little bit. I'm not really sure, but Jeremy came on and talked to him also.
What I take away from that is that everyone seemed to go away as friends. There was no animosity once the conversation had been had. It's definitely a really good stream that you guys did.
Yeah, and that's happened multiple times, like even in just our comment section and even in streams before, where we've had a back and forth with somebody, like the guy that Coach read the letter from last night. What's his name again, Coach? I'm drawing a blank.
Joe Iorio?
Yeah. The reason he's on our channel is because I was tweeting stuff on the Star Wars Twitter account. And me and him had a back and forth disagreement on there. Then he came over to the channel and we started having a conversation back and forth, and that was probably 2 months or so ago. And we had very differencing of opinion on the sequels and all that stuff. But you know, he's there in our streams. I think just about almost every Saturday, isn't he, Coach?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is, and he's somebody that that's so funny that me and Nick have so much in common, but we're so different. And
Yes.
and here's the thing: I made that little ad a week ago. Like it had me to like Mr. Rogers and Bob Ross and the chill piano music, and then it had Nick. Then it had Nick like. There's war. There's the riders of Rohan storming the armies.
Yeah.
And it says. So the thing is like if you really get down to it, if you really for whatever reason don't like me, you're gonna love Nick. And if you don't like Nick for whatever reason, you're gonna love me.
Yeah.
That's just. And if you like us both, that's just a total win for us. But like one of you's gonna like the other one of us. Like it's just that's just how it goes. So that's so funny.
Us do complement each other so well. It is.
Yeah.
It's a joy to see. The other thing that I wanted to ask you about is probably your biggest projects that you do, your documentaries. I think that's one of the things that you guys are most well known for, isn't it?
Yeah, that the sequel trilogy documentary really, that's what really put us on the map. Which that was almost a little less than a year after we started the channel. And Coach came up with the idea to do it, and I wasn't really on board when he first mentioned it. I was like, a documentary. Like, we don't know anything about doing that. Like, I was just like, man, it's going to be, like, stupid. Like, it's going to look like crap.
All right. Hold your thought. I just want to jump in here and make sure this is clear for everybody. I didn't just call him with an idea. I called him like, dude, I got an idea, man.
Yeah.
My gosh. Yeah. This is freaking gold. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, he was pretty pumped and excited about it. And I was like, I don't know, man.
See, it to twist his arm a little bit, Coach.
Yes, I did.
Well, the thing is, I wasn't against the idea. I was just questioning whether me and him could do anything that would even be quality, because, like, that's the one thing. Like, I don't want to put something out there and have everyone be like, good God, this sucks. Like, this is terrible. Like, it's so amateur, Like, and so the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, because I've watched a ton of documentaries in my lifetime. And, like, I'm just like, how are we even going to be on par? Like, and I just was thinking about everything that was would be involved, and I didn't think that it would pan out. I didn't think that the time that we'd have to put into it would come out, and it would actually be worth all the time that we're gonna have to put into it. So, but ultimately, it turned out great. I thought.
It really did. I think people don't really kind of understand the dedication that you guys put into it, and what a labor of love it was to produce.
Yeah, and there was a lot of back and forth on that whole project. Just because I wanted it to be good. Like there were several times, so Coach would kind of edit stuff together, send it to me, and I would kind of be critical of it, and he didn't really like some of the criticisms I had. But the thing is, once we kind of talked about that stuff, so for example, like one of the very intro to the documentary, the very first one Coach cut together, I actually sent it to Robert Meyer Burnett. I didn't tell Coach I was doing this. I just sent it to him.
Freaking
I just sent it to him, and I was like,
"You betrayed me."
I was like, "Hey, dude, we're putting this together. I wanted to get your take on this intro. This is going to be part of the intro to the documentary, you know, where we're kind of showing what came before the sequel trilogy and stuff. And he came back with several key points on stuff that needed to be changed, how it needed to be different, how we needed to do this with it or that with it. And I sent it to Coach, and he did not really like Robert Burnett's thoughts on it. But after we talked about it, and after he kind of got past that and then kind of changed it and stuff, it turned into what it is today, which is way better than the very first one.
It couldn't be better than it is. Like yeah, I agree. The first one we had was really good for what it was, but Robert Meyer Burnett gave us some parameters to follow that I was ignorant of, and Nick was too. We didn't know. We'd never made anything like this before. So once he laid down kind of a recipe to follow, I went back and applied that, and that's what we have now. And it was very good. And so, yes, I am, when Nick would offer up some criticism or whatever, I am definitely the one of the two of us that has thinner skin, and I am prone to taking criticism personally at times. Not all the time. But from time to time. And with this documentary, we did have some back and forths, and I would get mad or whatever. But he's right. Every single time that he would offer some insight, hey, think about making this tweak, think about making that tweak. Because let's just be honest, neither one of us are like, we don't create things that are perfect, and that's not really our skill set. I can make something pretty decent, and then Nick can look at it and say, hey, this is how we can make it better. And then he's always right. It's hard for me to see that because I'm the one that made it to begin with. Does that make sense? When you're the one to make it to begin with, it's hard to look at it and power it up. That's what we call it in teaching. We actually do this in school a lot, where we will go as a teacher and visit other classes and see what the students are doing, what is the task. And then after we observe for about 15 minutes, our little group of teachers go out in the hall, and the only conversation we have is, how do we take that lesson right there and how do we make it better? It's hard to do it when you're the teacher in the room. Well, I'm the person making what we're seeing. I need somebody whom I can trust to say, hey, this is how we make it better right here. And every single one of Nick's suggestions, we went and made those tweaks and added those things, and it was better every single time.
That's brilliant. I love that the two of you and even people from outside of Echo Base can work together to make something even better than you envisioned it to begin with. That's amazing.
The only thing about that documentary that still irks me about
I already know.
Coach already knows what I'm going to say. That I wish we could have done, because I just would think that it would be a lot better for the viewers, is every time we have these clips of all these other people, content creators, whatever, we have a little graph, that pops up in the lower left-hand corner, like Angry Joe from, the Angry Joe Show on YouTube, or, Gary from Nerdrotic from YouTube, or something like that, that just flashes up like you see in documentaries and stuff like that. But we kind of had ourselves on a time constraint, and that was going to take a lot of time to do that. But so on this next one that we do, we're actually going to have those names and those links and stuff as we're getting the stuff that we need, so we already have it all together, so it's not going to be difficult. We're just basically just plug and play.
And a big part of that documentary was the fan response. Yeah. So there's a lot of people featured in that documentary.
Yeah.
The one that we're working on now is going to be very different. There's not going to be a bajillion YouTubers on it. Like, it's going to be very few, if any, to be honest. I'm not sure there's going to be one YouTuber featured. We'll see. That's still something that we're working through.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see it. And Palace brings up a good point. He said, I love the documentary, second only to the Voltron stop motion films. More stop motion Echo Base Network.
That was all Coach. And that's another very time consuming thing that he
crap,
had to
man.
do.
A 6-minute cartoon is going to take me about 5 hours to make.
Yeah. Coach has put a whole lot of time and effort into a lot of this stuff that's been on our channel. I'm the type of person I'm not gonna spend that much time on the content. He likes doing a lot of that stuff though, but I think it got to the point to where it was just taking too much time.
It was, but like I get mesmerized and fascinated by some of this stuff. Like I was laid on the couch watching a documentary on Jim Henson, and it was by a YouTube channel. They made the documentary, and I thought it was extremely well done. Well, there in my own little competitive nature, I'm looking at it going, I can do that. I can do that. And that's when I called Nick, and I'm like, we're making a freaking documentary. And he's like, on what?
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, we're going to do it on the sequel trilogy. And think about it, dude. We could be finishing this thing right after the last movie comes out. I said, it'll be perfect timing. We'll be the only people in the world that'll have a documentary on this thing. And he's like, I don't know, dude. And anyways, that's what we did.
I did agree with him on the fact that it was good timing. Like, if we were going to do it, it was good timing, because by the time we got to that part of it, we would literally have just a couple things to add from the last movie, some clips and stuff, but for the most part, we would have most of the script already done on it. There was a couple stuff we had to send back to Doomcock to do a couple more lines on it, which it was awesome that Doomcock did the narration for it, because I mean, I don't even think we had 1,000 subs when we started this project.
No, we didn't.
I don't even think we were monetized.
We got 1,000 subs right before it came out.
Yeah, so we were literally a nobody channel, and for Doomcock to take the time to narrate a documentary for a nobody channel like us at the time was awesome, and we're very grateful, even still to this day that he did that.
But back to the stop motion stuff, like I'm watching stop motion, and I'm like, how the freak did they do that? So I started watching some videos, and at the time I had an incredible, massive toy collection in my home office, and I'm like, well, if anybody can make stop motion, I can. So I learned how to do it.
How hard could it be? Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned how to do it, and I started practicing. And once I felt confident enough, I went. And it was fun. It was fun putting them together. I think people had a lot of laughs.
Did Purple do one of the voices for one of the
She sure
characters?
did. She was Rey freaking Skywalker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember that.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love putting that one together, but they're so time consuming. And I got to the point where, it was after the documentary and once this thing happened back in December, when the explosion of subscriber base and memberships and all this stuff happened, and me and Nick are like, okay, this is getting to be pretty serious now. Like, we got an amazing community. We got a base of support. We're getting really good views on our videos. Our live stream show is probably what we take the greatest amount of pride in, where we could all come together and, we decided, hey, we're gonna do some things that nobody else does. We're gonna do pop-ins. Well, go watch Star Wars Theory on Monday nights now. What's he doing?
Poppins?
He's doing pop-ins.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's doing that. But it's like we got to the point where this became something that we can look at like it's work. I mean, but it's not work because we love it.
Yes.
So we're getting. I'm not saying that we're getting like so much money that it's wow, oh my gosh, it's not like that at all. I can't quit my job. We're not even close to becoming full-time YouTubers. We would both love to do that if we could ever get to that point. So I can retire in 8 years.
Oh, that would be good.
And so that's what I tell Nick. I'm like, look, dude, let's build the channel. Let's keep building for 8 more years. And then when 8 years gets here, I can be full-time. I could roll every day and do something on the channel. And at that point, if the growth continues, if our base of support continues, if YouTube can ever replace what I make as a teacher, then it's a no-brainer. And it's that would be a dream come true, because it's very fulfilling to create content that people enjoy, to have conversations, to be known, to like you asking us to be here today, to be part of this big community. The positives by far outweigh the negatives. And Nick and I just knew, at that point, this is something that we're going to have to start taking more seriously, and be more committed to it. And we are. We're doing the very, very best that we can. And it's just, we're going to keep making things better as we go on.
That's amazing. And having fun, because having fun is definitely key to being on YouTube. It's hard work, but it's a privilege to get to be able to do this. And I just want to say a huge thank you to Valiant Renegade for the $5 super chat. He said, "Hail to you all Valkyries and to you Purple. Who are these two guys?" And he says, "And coach, I've been a Phil Tippett fan since I was a kid."
Haha, I hear you. Well,
who's Phil Tippett?
Stop motion.
Oh, okay.
Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I knew the name sounded familiar.
Come on, Nick. Don't you run a Star Wars channel?
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I'm not like my brain does. I have like the worst memory. Coach will tell you, like he'll tell me stuff, and I'll be like, God, I don't even remember that. I'll slightly remember it when he'll bring up like an old story about something, but yeah, my memory's shit.
So thank you to Felix Quiros. I'm hoping I've pronounced that correctly, for $4.99. They say, "You guys form the best Star Wars community on YouTube. You're very special. You are EBN. Proud of you both."
Hey, you're EBN too, Felix.
Yeah, thank you, Felix. That's a brother right there, and Valiant Renegade as well.
Yeah.
So, and I love that, like, we share so much community, like us, you and Samantha Joe and Loki. So many of us have people, that they come to all of our places. And we all know each other. And, like, look at the names here in the chat. Dave Bob's here. Mark the Infinitely Tired. Pat S. is here. Wendy Vega. Like, it just goes on and on. Rex Hutchinson's here. Cred Sox is here. Like, this is just amazing. Like, it feels so good to be able to come and see our people and your people. And it's just amazing. Yeah. What a platform they give us to be able to do this.
Yep.
Absolutely. And we are very grateful to obviously to get to know you guys and to get them to know the community at large. We're just a little channel at the moment as well, but we're
Jedi Bill 797 and Brandon Wolf. I don't think Spike in Madness. Like, look, it just goes on and on. It's crazy.
Yeah. Everyone's putting no song in there.
N-O, N-O, no.
If I'm ever doing the stream alone and Coach has got to bail for stuff, that song will never be played.
Oh, I know, because every time it gets brought up, you're like, Coach is the one that don't like cussing. I don't care. And I'm like, we're supposed to be together in this thing.
Yeah, and we are. I'm in complete
not.
agreement with Coach that we need to keep it clean when he's on there. But when it's just me, it's a whole totally different show, man.
I hear you, Thrawn. I hear you.
Where did that come from? I've got to ask. But what was the inspiration for that?
The no song? Mm-hmm. Or just how we're like, hey guys, let's try to keep it as clean as we can, kind of thing.
A little bit of both, but mainly the no song, because the first time I heard it, I burst out laughing.
Well, so as you guys are aware, I've got, my wife and 2 daughters, and I'm a school teacher. A lot of my students watch our channel. They're subscribers. They'll pop in. They've been on our live streams. They'll send me messages. They ask me about the channel at school. They think it's so cool that their history teacher has a YouTube channel with 19,000 subs. They just think that's like that's the be all end all to them. And I just laugh and I'm like, that's, that's not that big of a deal. But, and then I've got, a church family that got a lot of church friends that are big Star Wars fans as well. They watch the channel and they'll watch live streams and stuff too. And, just because of all that, I keep it clean myself because of all that, as clean as I can, and not just it's kind of funny in the beginning. Like we weren't telling people, hey, don't try not to use any bad language or anything like that. We never said anything. We never addressed it. But because me and Nick weren't engaging in cursing, so many guests would be like, "Can I cuss here?" like they would have to ask us. Like Jeremy has asked us multiple times.
Yeah.
They feel different, and I love that. That I take that as a compliment. I love it. I love it when people ask, "Can we curse here?" I just start laughing, because if somebody does, it's like I'm not gonna get mad about it or anything like that. If somebody abuses that and does it a lot, I feel like I'm gonna have to remove them. I'm gonna have to say, hey, let's try to keep it clean. But if you if it's just one here and there, I don't care. I really don't.
Just let it slide. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So the no thing is totally 100% my humor. I think that's why my students enjoy me as a teacher, is because I can make fun. Nobody can make fun of myself like me. And that's just part of my humor. It's one way that I make people feel comfortable. Like when I walked into a room full of 13-year-olds and the only person that's getting made fun of is me because I'm making fun of myself, and then it makes them feel comfortable and they make fun of me too, and I laugh about it and I just love it. That's what the no thing is. It's a way to let's have a laugh about it, yet there's a tinge of seriousness behind it. So I'm in your brain. I'm in your subconscious. You don't even know it.
Well, it definitely gets in. As Matt Rissman says, thank you, sweetheart, for $9.99. He says, we are, you are, happy to be here and supporting each other. No, LOL. You just can't help saying it the way the song says it now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny because last week Jamie was like, I swear to God, if you play that no song while I'm on here.
I was shocked that he's even seen it. I'm like, holy crap. How does Jeremy know about the no song?
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I think that started from Ryan Kennel was saying something about our channel and said something about, the no words, over there on Echo Base or something, And then Coach was just sort of like what he was saying. It kind of came out of just, making fun of himself, on this whole thing. And it's just kind of now become a thing, which is cool,
Oh, and it's another way that we're different. We're just different. and that's good.
It really is. Gonna wrap this up now, guys, but I just want to say a massive thank you. I know how busy you are. I'm very, very honoured that you would join me tonight. So what I would ask is, what can Echo Base family expect from you guys in the future? What's the next thing coming from you?
Well, I want to respond to what you said first. There's nothing that me and Nick wouldn't do for you. We're very grateful for you, Purple.
Yeah, you've helped us out a ton.
So I think right now everything's really about maintenance. Let's endurance. Let's keep the momentum. Let's keep the things that we've got going. We just started our memberships, I don't know, 7 weeks ago maybe now. And we're up to nearly 150 members. We want to make sure that our members are being taken care of, and we're actually delivering on the things that they're paying for with our Jedi Master Council meetings, with our member watch parties, with our members-only live streams and things like that. We have to maintain that. We have to continue to deliver content Monday through Friday that people enjoy, that you can watch an Echo Base Network video, I hope, and know that you're going to get real information with real thoughts, and we're gonna try to make it look pleasing to the eye. And the biggest of all is that it's this place where you could come on Saturday nights, and we're gonna have an agenda. We're gonna have a plan to put on a show for you, and we're gonna let you be part of it because it's your show too. So all of that, we're going to keep doing those things. We're going to keep working on our next feature film. Anything in addition to that, I do not know. I can't. Nick will tell you what we got coming here in a few weeks when the summer starts.
Yeah. So in Cred Socks, I saw your comment. She says Nick to join in on time.
Yes.
Coach will tell you,
Mr. Reliable.
I'm probably the biggest procrastinator. I get sidetracked very easy. I'll always be there. I might not always be there on time, but sometimes I'll be there on time. But yeah, it's just I'm all over the place. That's just me. And I always try to do better on that stuff, but it is what it is. It's probably not going to change a whole lot moving forward.
It's part of your charm. That's another. If you were as structured as I am,
I'm
would be
not structured at all.
Oh, I know. We would
just to show how well you'd work together. Exactly.
Yeah, imagine how boring we would be.
Yeah. See, I'm the type of person who will get up one day and say, "Screw it, man. Let's freaking drive to the mountains, and stay there for the night." And, just out of the blue, I'm very random, and I'll just do stuff on the fly, just out of the blue, and I've done that, for, God, I've been like that as far back as I can remember, especially in my adult life. Because when I was growing up, it was, my dad always had lists of chores for me to do. Coach knows all about that. I was always chopping wood, and I had to do this. I had to be in at a certain time. I had to do this on this days and that days, and so when I moved out, man, it was a free for all for me.
Yeah, and I'm the opposite. It's For 20 years, I was a basketball coach and a teacher, and every day I had to have a plan of everything I was going to be doing every moment, down to the minute. And that's, now that I'm not coaching anymore, all of that now is focused on our channel. So I have a list every day of things I need to accomplish, things I need to work on. Every single day, I've got a piece of paper on my desk that's got 7 or 8 things on it to go work on for the channel. Every single day.
Yeah, I have none of that. I'm like, all right, let me jump on. I'll do some comments here. Coach will be like, hey, we're doing this video on this thing. I'll be like, cool. Like literally, it is what it is.
I've got to admit, for me, I'm a little bit closer to Coach because I do like to plan ahead. I have a diary, so Joe's coming up, guests coming up. I make sure I've got them written down, and I've got confirmation of what's coming. It just, for me, it gives me peace of mind.
Yes, I could live in that world.
Yeah. See, if I was running this channel on my own, it would be a complete shit show of inconsistency on a regular basis. Coach kind of, keeps things in somewhat of a straight line, while I'm kind of up and down all over the place,
I am going to cut this out of the video and keep this forever. Like it's so nice to hear you say that.
I didn't even think it needed to be said. It's kind of, that's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys. And just before we get to say goodbye to the chat, I want to say a massive thank you to Cred Socks for the super sticker of the rose. Thank you, sweetheart. And Mark did send us a couple of super chats earlier, which I brought up on the screen but didn't read out, so let me grab those for you. So we had a $2 super chat from Mark the Finitely Tired. He says, I'm only a little tired. And then we had another super chat, if I can pull it up, if it will let me. No, it won't open, but that's okay. Please. There we go. So he said, for $4.99, Coach is a softie. His reaction to the video was the best of the best.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's really sweet. Guys, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't tell you how grateful I am to get to talk to you.
Yeah,
I know.
Real quick, Purple. I just wanted to add this in there real quick because
absolutely.
I never fully answered your question earlier on stuff that's coming up because I got sidetracked, which just proves what kind of person I am that I was talking about. But anyways, this summer when Coach is off work, we're gonna try to start doing daily afternoon streams because we got a lot of people over in your neck of the woods across the pond that can't always be there late on our Saturday night streams. So we're gonna try to do that. I don't know if it's gonna be every day or every other. I'm not sure. But my afternoons are pretty much freed up, and Coach's will be too. And then, of course, we got our documentary that Mahler is going to be narrating on the rise and fall of LucasArts that we're also going to be working on and trying to get finished up as well. And those are really the main two big things moving forward as far as content stuff coming out is summer streams during the day, and then, of course, our next documentary on the rise and fall of LucasArts.
That's brilliant. Thank you guys. A huge thank you to the chat. It's great to see all you guys in the chat. And if you're not already, sub to Echo Base Network, because as they say, they're only going to get bigger and better. And we are so proud of them for what they've accomplished so far.
Well, thank you, Purple.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else?
You're a big part of that. You're a big part of that. All of you guys are.
As you say, we are, you are, Echo Base Network. You guys couldn't have said it better.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's so funny. Like I said that a bajillion times, and the first time Nick said it, he said it backwards.
Yeah.
As Coach always says, you are, we are.
Yeah. Because I'm always like, we'll see y'all in the next video, and Coach does his thing, and then he was like, don't forget to say the saying, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm, of course I screwed that up too,
Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh, a huge thank you guys, and absolutely keep an eye out, keep a watch on Echo Base, because they are the nicest guys on YouTube. They really are.
We try.
And I will be back tomorrow morning. 10 a.m. Central. So a huge thank you to everyone who joined us today. Again, thank you to Coach. A huge thank you to Nick. You guys are amazing. We really appreciate you. And we will see you very soon. Thank you, guys. Have a great Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thanks, guys.